See the west wind move like a love soul upon the fields of barley. Feel her body rise when you kiss her mouth among the fields of gold. Never made promises lately. There's never been someone that I've broken, but I swear the days still left. I walk through the fields of gold. 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 Hold me close and hold me fast. The magic you will cast. This is love beyond rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, this is love beyond rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom, and heaven speak and they sing from above, and every words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be love you and rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see love you and rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. Give me your heart and soul to me, and life will always be loving. Thank you. Thank you. The theme is flowers, so I thought Olivia and Rose.
The theme is the giving of flowers.
The giving of flowers.
But I'm going to keep these right for right now. Right. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I promise you we won't stay in our own private moment this entire time together. And welcome. Happy Mother's Day. So I'm going to say that again. Since we're a little tiny today, we're going to need lots of interaction back to the. So good morning and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and happy Mother's Day to me as well. I don't give birth to physical form as far as babies, but I do have a spiritual offspring that so often I am having to be maternal with her. I did just buy her new jewelry yesterday, and she liked it and disliked it at the same time. So that caught Robert's attention. You could tell immediately he was like, what kind of jewelry? Well, a flower necklace is being made. So anyway, I'm Reverend Dr. Keith Cox, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Los Angeles. You're welcome. You're welcome. She said thank you. I'm not sure if that's because I changed direction in my conversation, or for us being here, or for us as a community, but for all of that, you're welcome. I'm glad we're here together today. How about all of you? And a big thank you to Yaron for being here to bless us with a lot of music for us today. We come together as a spiritual community to honor and acknowledge the power and the presence of the only thing there is. We should just hear that statement. I remember so vividly sitting in the class for the Los Angeles Church of Religious Science years ago on Wilshire Boulevard, and the conversation was about God is all there is. And I remember thinking, that is such a big idea, and it makes perfect sense, and at the same time, there's a part of me that thinks it's a load of crap, right? Like, so all of those ideas came into being. And I remember looking out into the sky and seeing stars and clouds and realizing that there was a destination, if you will, a finality to what I could see, but there is not a finality to that which can be seen. It's beyond what the mind can comprehend. And in that moment, I understood that statement that there is only God and God is all there is in a new way. We come together as practicing metaphysicians to expand on that idea to the best of our ability each and every time we come together. We come together to question that, just like I did that evening, and to play with it in mind. We come together, whether it's through the virtual program of Zoom and YouTube and or in person, I know I can say that word, to affirm that as a spiritual truth. And not only because it's considered in some levels of this teaching a doctrine, but because we're conscious and what we say out loud and choose to believe is absorbed through our subconscious mind, and then that produces an experience in life that is reflective to the idea that has then been planted as a seed, or if we want to take it even deeper, one that is then revealed as a spiritual truth that already exists within us. And so we are students of the teachings of the science of mind. What that means for me and what I want that to mean for each of you, should you be willing to go along on the journey of the ride today and every day, is to play with your mind. Not in a way necessarily of taking psychedelics, even though that seems to be quite prevalent in today's therapy world, be that as it may and do with it as it is for you, but to use your mind in a way to question what Dr. Ernest Holmes provided for us through the teaching of the science of mind and other teachers along the way. One of my favorite teachers of all time is with us today, and I want you to acknowledge her, the one and only Reverend Dr. Maureen Hoyt. And so she likes to surprise me, even though we've become so in tune in life. I kind of know it. I know when she's going to show up even without there being any form of telecommunication. So it's telepathic communication. So are you guys ready to let's move into our service? What did I say about interaction? You guys ready to let's move into service? Good. So we're going to open with a reading. I'm going to go kind of free form today, just so you know. So in the book 365, Dr. Ernest Holmes writes this: as I attune myself to the perfection of God, it flows through me. It dissipates all the obstructions of my everyday life, transforming all confusion into love and beauty. I realize that I must bring this perfection of reality into expression, for the mind and heart of each human being are the only channels God has through which to manifest God's infinite mind and perfect love, which must be expressed continually that life may evolve in greater and greater perfection. As I permit this reality to be expressed in me and through me, and when I say I and me, I'm saying that for all of us. I invite you to affirm it in the I am as well. As I permit this reality to be expressed in me and through me, I'm joyous in the assurance that I'm bringing into being that much more of God perfection. I'm transforming a part of life just as nature passes through the beautiful transformation called spring. I know I need only to realize this true state of being, which is love, that which I truly am, to transform all that appears to be imperfect. Love is that which is real, complete harmony. Love is the great harmonizing agency. Let's all take a deep breath in and feel the presence of love as that agency. And acknowledge it as the power and presence of the only thing it is. And then let's think and feel and connect to the being of life that provided us life. And on this day, as we connect to motherhood, I'm going to share a post by another one of my great teachers and friends. It was on Facebook by the name of Dr. Jim Lockhart. And his post reads, "Sending so much love and empathy to those for whom this day may be a painful one. Please be kind to yourself. And if this day is a source of joy for you, as it is for me, please treasure that and know how fortunate and blessed you are." And then there's a meme that says, "Thinking of you." And these are the you. Mothers who've lost children, those who have mothers, those with strained mother relationships, mothers with strained child relationships, and those who've chosen not to be mothers, and those yearning to be mothers. And so you can open your eyes if you'd like and see that I've lit the candle that we use for calling in the light. And we perform this ritual today to draw into our gathering this morning a more conscious awareness of our oneness and the qualities that we possess as complete expressions of the divine, and to honor all facets of mothers and children and giving birth that I just acknowledged. We bring all of that together and define and declare and claim this as the healing candle. And by acknowledging the light within, we shall place into this light the names of those that we would like to have experienced the eternal and everlasting love of the divine. And I invite you to say those names out loud, but first to say the name of your mother. Peggy. And so as we sing together the song Calling in the Light, let's bring into our mind's eye light as living in God's healing truth, that healing energy radiating out into the universe and returning to each of us. It's a call and response song. Your on will guide you as to the parts to sing along with.
Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh love. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light of love. Repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
I am peace in my heart. I am free. I am spirit. I am soul. All together. Together, we are whole. Calling in the light, calling in the light, calling in the light, oh Lord. Calling
guys doing? Good. I want to also acknowledge in here today Dennis Goodine, our board member, who's been joining us virtually through Zoom for the last year and a half, if not more, but taking care of his mother as she's on a journey right now. And so you're glad that you got to have a break and that you chose to spend part of that with those that love you. So everybody having a good spring? Yeah. Your own just got back from a little tour of the Northeast, right? Where were you?
In New Jersey and Buffalo.
Oh, those
maybe
are
Milwaukee this week.
high-level traveling places. New Jersey and Buffalo.
Yes.
So good, and then getting ready to head off to P-Town for the summer, right?
Yes.
So exciting. So very exciting. Anyone in the room got anything fun planned for the next few weeks? You're graduating. Woo. I think we should sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow. Can we get you to stand? Tell us your name again. Ian. E-R. So I think, but E-R. E-R. How about if I name you E-R? E-R? Okay. So let's sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow to E-R, which is a celebration song for D-R. Got it. All right. So everybody repeat that in inglés, por favor. D-R.
D-R.
All right. For those of you online with us, as ready, you got it? All right. Here we go. D-R. Come. Ready? All right. We're singing to you. Look to your people. Fellow, for He's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. Congratulations. Set the world on fire, dear. There you go. So in the vein of song and music, you have another song for us, correct?
I do.
Which is...
it's The Rose.
I know, I was about to say I always say these songs are one of my favorite, but this is definitely one of mine. This ranks up there with Amazing Grace and Love's Divine. So
I thought that fits the giving of flowers, and also the seed of love is our mothers. Mm-hmm. So it ties in both things beautifully.
Good.
If you know the words, please join along. Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking. Repeat it. That never learns to dance. That never learns to dance. It's the dream. It's the dream afraid of waking. Afraid of waking. That never takes the chance. That never takes a chance. It's the one. It's the one be taken, who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give, who cannot seem to give. And the soul afraid of dying, that never learns to live with the night just remember in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies the seed that was the sun's love, with the sun's love in the springs becomes the rose. Beautiful.
So uplifting and emotionally tearful as well. Who wrote the lyrics to that song? I don't know. I don't know. I was going to Google it while you were. I don't think Bette Midler did. I don't think she wrote it. But what profound lyrics. It's who? Amanda McCroom. McBroom, like sweeps McBroom. Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining me.
Oh yeah. There's just so many parts to the lyrics that speak to one's soul, speaks to my soul. I'm assuming it does to all of you as well. So thank you. Thank you. I forgot to acknowledge a while ago when we were acknowledging beings of light in the room, Hazel. Hazel is Dennis's four-legged spiritual offspring. And the first time I met Hazel, I made sure that Dennis knew, which he didn't know, that Hazel was the name of Ernest Holmes' wife, so that he has always got Ernest Holmes with him. And there's so much else I could say about that, and I'm going to let it go. You know, like, Maureen, I looked at her, looking at me like, just don't go. Just turn left. Take a left turn, right? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take that left turn, which is really contradictory to my nature. So I'm feeling it all move inside of me as I do that. But as I've gotten older and wiser, I've learned to listen as opposed to speak first. So here we are again, another Mother's Day. And I was, in preparing for today, I thought of all the Mother's Days that certainly I've been at a podium addressing it, which have now been, well, podiums have been 12 years, but since a minister for 20-something, let's just go with something. And it seems just like yesterday that we were doing this for Mother's Day in 2023. And I'll speak for myself, as really the only person I can speak for is my relationship with my mother has certainly taken many different turns over the years. And yesterday, she was at a brunch that would be my great nephews with their mothers, hosted for her, and my sister, who was their grandmother. So there was 3 generations of mothers there. And in looking at the photograph, it was so touching because on so many levels, I know that I know each one of these individuals, and at the same time, I don't know them, right? And I have such a relationship with them through the biological component of life and having experienced a mother and many other mothers and having some perception of their life and yet also having no idea because I've never walked the pathway of that. And it just struck me as to how we are all on our journey, and what I'm learning over time is to give the being that is the mother, in this case I'm speaking of mine, extended grace in regards to the journey that they've been on. I've been listening to the new Whoopi Goldberg book on audio, on Audible actually, and it's all about her family passing away, and primarily she's speaking of her mother. And it's so wonderful to hear her speak of her with such compassion and love and brilliance, while at the same time appreciating and understanding the flaws, right? So it's important to balance both of that. My intention and objective today is to have us create both a new perspective into the relationship that we have with the relationship with our mother, as well as to begin to look at our ability to give birth to something anew through us. I'd like to begin with a quote from James Faust. "The influence of a mother in the lives of her children is beyond calculation." I believe that speaks to exactly what I'm talking about. It's been a tradition here since 2015 that I stepped into this podium that I have opened the Mother's Day service with a reading from someone that is dear to me because this individual was so dear to my mother, and it's Irma Bombeck. And Maureen said, "Oh," then I got teary-eyed. I didn't till then, right? But then she did. So I'm going to read it again. It's a tradition, and I love sharing it. And I'd like to invite you to hear it as if it's the first time, and as well as feel the presence of the journey that we've read it for now. The good Lord was creating mothers. He was into his 6th day of overtime when the angel appeared and said, "You're doing a lot of fiddling around on this one." And God said, "Have you read the specs on this order? She has to be completely washable, but not plastic. She must have 180 movable parts, all replaceable, run on black coffee and leftovers, have a lap that disappears when she stands up, a kiss that can cure anything from a broken leg to a disappointed love affair, and 6 pair of hands." The angel shook her head slowly and said, "6 pairs of hands? No way." "It's not the hands that are causing me the problems," God remarked. "It's the 3 pair of eyes that mothers have to have." "That's on the standard model?" asked the angel. God nodded. "1 pair that sees through closed doors when she asks, 'What are you kids doing in there?' when she already knows the answer. Another here in the back of her head that sees what she shouldn't, but what she has to know. And of course, the ones here in front that can look at a child when they goof up and say, 'I understand, and I love you,' without so much as uttering a word." "God," said the angel, touching his sleeve gently, "get some rest tomorrow." "I can't," answered God. "I'm so close to creating something so close to myself. Already I have one who heals herself when she's sick, can feed a family of 6 on 1 pound of ground hamburger, and can get a 9-year-old to stand under a shower." The angel circled the model of a mother very slowly. "It's too soft," she sighed. "But tough," said God excitedly. "You can imagine what this mother can do or endure." "Can it think?" Answered, "Not only can it think, but it can reason and compromise," said the Creator. Finally, the angel bent over and ran her finger across the cheek. "There's a leak," she pronounced. "I told you that you were trying to put too much into this model." "It's not a leak," said the Lord. "It's a tear." "What's it for?" "It's for joy, sadness, disappointment, pain, loneliness, and pride." "You're a genius," said the angel. Somberly, God answered, "I didn't put it there." I love this story, and each and every year as I read it, it means something new to me, as I trust that it may for you. What it means to me today is that this story is the creative power created that as to what we're labeling in the story as superhuman. And yet, in this sense of ideal, what's being reflected is the perfection and the divine that exists within the being, the expression of a human as a divine being as a human being that seems to transcend what is considered natural for the human. Now, you and I may have had great experiences or maybe not great experiences with our parents, and the parents may have had that with their parents as well. Today, I invite us all to be open to having a new perspective, a new thought. After all, this is a new thought teaching. On this Mother's Day, I encourage each of us to take a moment and to honor our mother from a state of gratitude, and consciously take the time to acknowledge this individual that gave birth, physical birth to us. And no matter your journey, know that this pivotal point of creation is an amazing act. So let's all just take a moment, stop, take a deep breath in, and honor the creative process that exists within each and every one of us. To do all those things that Irma wrote about, whether we are of the female gender or not. And then give ourselves both the space and the ability and the willingness to feel worthy of our dreams and our desires and our goals and our intentions and those coming to fruition. Today, let's allow ourselves to know that just like our lives every day, these intentions and goals and dreams may require an incubation period. Why is that? Because you and I are one with the infinite nature of life, and our dreams and goals will be birthed into form with the proper attention and willingness to surrender to the creative process. And so as we start right here where we are, let's know, as every mother would tell us, that the work has only just begun. And from the planting of the seed to the birth forward, what's required for you and I is to nurture, to love unconditionally, and to celebrate the good times and those that aren't to what lies ahead. It's really all about the journey. I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I hear our vision statement of the journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening, there are moments that I land on the words spiritual empowerment, and that matters a lot to me. And then there are moments when spiritual awakening are the key words. And then I love it when the word is journey. It's important for us to remember that that vision statement starts with the journey, and we're each on one. The journey of selfhood, really. The journey is a spectacular one if we desire for it to be. The spectacular journey into selfhood begins with and in a safe and protected environment, the womb, if you will. The womb of our mother, in physical sense, mirrors the larger womb of creation from which we all emerge. As we develop within the mother's body, and her body serves as the first and primary matrix of experience for us. And so today, on this Mother's Day in the year 2024, and as we give birth to a new idea, let's look at it through the lens of giving flowers. The giving of flowers is our theme for the month. Last week, we talked about the giving of flowers as in giving to ourselves, awareness, acceptance, permission, and love. The giving of flowers has many meanings. Its primary, or one of its primary meanings, is to convey emotion. One of the most common purposes for giving flowers as a gift is to express emotion. Flowers are a beautiful way to express your deepest sentiments, whether it's love, joy, affection, gratitude, sympathy, romance, or apology. The emotions that flowers make you feel have symbolic meaning behind them. The act of selecting the flowers and the moment that they're given to somebody all have some deep meaning. We all know what that feeling is like. You know, yesterday I had it when I went in to pick these for our bima and our table. It was the preparation of Mother's Day, and there were people feverishly moving around, picking flowers for their mother and wondering if they were getting the right thing and wanting to make sure that the emotion behind what they were giving could be received in the way that it was given. And then the self-questioning of, am I doing the right arrangement? Am I picking the right one? Is this going to last, right? It goes on and on and on. As well as my intention in picking these would be something that would be pretty and simple and not over the top and affordable and easy to carry, right? Now, for you guys, the easy to carry part probably doesn't matter, right? But it did to me. But you can feel the love that's in these, right? Right. That's because not only is the giving of flowers something we can all relate to, but it has been something that the human has been doing for quite some time. The Victorians thought it was impolite to express feelings in words, therefore they wanted to do it with flowers. I'm not going to go through a long list of what flowers mean and each one today, but I invite you to look it up because it's been shown that through both ancient Greece and Rome and China and Egypt, the giving of flowers had specific meanings, and each flower had a different meaning as well. Today I want us to springboard off what we built upon last week with the loving of the self. The song that was sung for us is the Miley Cyrus song of I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing and I can hold my own hand. Yeah, I can love me better than you can, for I can buy myself flowers. The meaning of that is the reminder that on this journey that we have, we're given the opportunity for personal self-empowerment as we have the spiritual awakening of knowing that we are enough just as we are. And so as we continue to step into the unknown, let's remember that we discover on this journey that we can be fragile and strong and terrified and brave all at the same time, while it's important to remember that we're here to step on the journey. And so on this Mother's Day, I invite you to ask yourself, what is it that you want to give birth to in your life? Is it more peace, more power, more beauty, a new career, a sense of self as you move off into a new set of schooling in your life? Is it letting go to the attachment of what you think life is supposed to be like? Is it looking at mother from a new perspective? Mother's Day is not only a celebration of our earthly mothers, but it's an opportunity to celebrate and consciously reconnect with the energies of the divine feminine, to look beyond the physical, where we can see then our unique connection and oneness with the creative energy of all life that goes far beyond what we can even comprehend. And it's there for us. In preparing for this morning, I was looking back over Mother Days past, and I came across the theme that we had in May of 2020, growing forward. You guys remember May of 2020? What do we remember most about May of 2020? Quarantine. So imagine we were on Zoom, looking at each other, mask on our face, wondering what the effect of the world was going to be and what was going to be given birth to out of humanity. And look at where we are today. I so remember during that time listening to Dr. Sue Rubin one Sunday morning when she was in conversation with me and us and saying we have a choice when these days to come shall be. Do we want to revert back to that which was, or open to something new? I think for all of us, there's probably some sense of safety in reverting back to what was. And yet we also are yearning to experience and express that which is new. I know for many in the room, much like me, we're at a chronological state in our life. As my dear friend Ron Shalowitz says, we're pretty darn sure that we have far less days ahead of us than we have behind us. And that can either be comforting or fearful. I bring it up in the sense that on this day of Mother's Day, we have before us, as we do every day, the opportunity to plant that seed, as I spoke of earlier, and give birth to something in life that is reflective of our tuning into that within us which is ageless, which is boundless, which isn't bound by chronology or our physiology or that in human terms which we call aging. For me, I know it's that I'm being called to have a new idea in life and declare a goal or an objective or something new. Is that always easy? No. But is it something that is important? Yes. And so as we continue on our theme of the month, to give flowers, let's remember that the flower comes from the seed that's been planted in the soil so that the root can take place so that that root can take form, so that it may emerge into a plant that then bears fruit. Robert, would you give birth to turning the air conditioning off? I can tell people are cold in here. So, thank you. So I just gave birth to a new idea for you. If you all could only have seen your eyes, you're all like, if I could only get warm. What that reminds us of is to remember is that not only are we all interconnected, we can pick up energies in the room, right? That's an example of giving birth to something new. If we were in the Victorian ages, you could have given me some flowers to tell me that. But in the modern day world, you can use your words. You guys could have said, hey, I'm cold, turn it off. But you did that with your body language. So thank you for that. Yay. And you're welcome for turning it off. So we're speaking of planting seeds and bearing fruit, which we just did, because now you all can open your bodies back up from not being cold. I'm going to invite you to do that together. So take your hands, put them together like this. Rub them. Feel some warmth. Kiss them. Place them on your heart. Feel the warmth. And now open up. Let's change the energy in the room. There we go. Open it up to receive. Now, I'm inviting you all to plant a seed in your mind. And to believe that whatever you're planting shall take form. It's the way it works. We're here on this day called Mother's Day, honoring that which has given birth. We have physical examples in the room. If you're in the room and you've given birth, raise your hand. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sherry's given birth. Sherry's given 5. So at least 5 people that have physically Has Hazel? No, okay. So at least 5 people in the room that have. That is a reflection for us of the nature of nature. If you've ever been birthed, raise your hand. Anyone not? Anyone hatch out of an egg? Okay, so we have more examples. I share that because it's important for us to remember that which lies in smiling repose within us, ready to make itself known. Nature's here for us. My friend, David Alt, who just did a conversation with us and a student of Dr. Maureen's, writes this about reflecting nature. He says, in nature, we see a partial existence. Below the soil and beyond our physical sight is its life-giving root system. Without this unseen entity, there would be no stem, no branch, no blossom, or fruit. Each of us has a mental root system. Unseen like the roots of nature, it births the quality of life expressed in the world of form. If we're unhappy with the quality of our current experience, i.e. cold in the room, we must go beyond the surface situation and commit to uprooting the old thoughts and reseed with nutrient-rich kernels of mind food. Take that in. What kind of mind food are you participating in? Ralph Waldo Emerson once stated, I wish to exchange this flash of lightning faith for continuous daylight. He addressed the fact that one's personal development takes cultivation. You may be beguiled by flash or prestige, but without substance, there can be no grounding sustainability. Modern culture offers yearly examples of transitory fame. It's simply a matter of time before prestige withers and attention fades. Doing life without concern for developing deep roots of consciousness isn't really living. It's sleepwalking. Let's hear that again. It spoke so to me yesterday when I found this. Doing life without concern for developing deep roots of consciousness isn't really living. It's sleepwalking. So the question that he asks is, so how do you nurture and maintain a positive root system? Begin by honoring your physical and emotional well-being. Dust off your enthusiasm, commit to your passions, and stop second guessing your capability and value. Gratefully and with regularity, acknowledge all the things that work in your life. Let's hear these again. Dust off your enthusiasm. In other words, get it ready. Commit to your passions. What would one of those be for any of you? Passions, cooking, reading, writing, creative, dancing. Commit to your passions and stop second guessing your capability and value. Gratefully and with regularity, acknowledge all the things that work in your life. Breathe deeply and remember that what you reap is based upon the seeds you sow today. Today. And yes, tomorrow. But tend to those tomorrow when tomorrow is today. Marilyn Ferguson writes, transformation is a journey without a final destination. I think so often in life we get attached to what we think that final destination is going to look like. I know for me it's, just on a day like today, it's how do I get from the start of my message to the end, right? I get attached to the destination as opposed to trusting the journey. I said to my beloved as she sits here, I walked up to her right before we began, there's one of my teachers, who said on a Sunday morning or whenever, as long as you touch one person, you've done your job. I'm not saying that because I'm looking for validation from you all that I've touched you or anyone online. What I've learned in this position, this teaching, this way of giving is that it's not my role to be attached to how that shows up. That I'll get a message, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 2 years down the road from someone who said, and it happened just this week as well, who said, I've been watching you online for years, and fill in the blank. I share that with you because it's important for you and I to remember our role in this creative process on our journey of finding personal self-empowerment through a spiritual awakening is to plant the seeds. It's to plant the seeds. It's to remember the power that we're imbued with. It's to have faith along the journey and to reach out for support when we need help. There are those in all of our lives that are here to support us, to affirm for us, and to hold the idea that we are holding in our minds dear and true, and in a way that is affirming that it's not only possible, but probable. Transformation is a journey without a final destination. What a blessing that we each have with the ability to be a constant participant on the journey of transformation. We do this through our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions, our reactions, and interactions with life itself. And to remember day by day, by day, by day, thought by thought by thought, that we are indeed on a spiritual quest, one that we must continuously and consciously participate in. John Bradshaw tells us that the spiritual quest is not some added benefit to our life, something you embark on if you have the time and inclination. We are spiritual beings on an earthly journey. Our spirituality makes up our beingness. What he's inviting us to do is to tune into that and to remember we're here today to give birth to that which is longing from within us to make itself known. As we sang about earlier, what we know is that begins and ends with love, the self-givingness of spirit, whose desire is to create more of itself out of itself. On this day where we celebrate those that have been the physical means by which birth was provided for us, let's choose to honor that by giving birth to a new thought, a new idea, and a new way of loving ourselves. Thank you. Yay! So Yaron is going to come back and give birth to another song.
All right. It's in every one of us to be wise. Let me start it over. Different key, it's too low. It's in every one of us to find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us it's in every one of us. I just remembered it's like I've been sleeping for years, not awake as I can be, but it seems better I can see through the heat tears. I've been realizing that I buy the ticket. Watching only half the show. There is scenery and lights and a cast of thousands who all know what I know, and it's good. That's so good. Please join me. It's an to be wise, find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's an Let's do the chorus one more time. Please join me for one last time. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart. Find your heart. Open up. Open up both your eyes. We can it's in every one of us by and by and by. I saw what you did there, the harmony. You did some harmony there.
You hear that harmony?
Yeah, of course.
I gave you a little harmony,
Thank
yes. You know, speaking of committing to things, there's been running for For 12 years, almost 12 years, as a child, I took piano and vocal lessons. And then there was a moment in my life when, I do remember what happened, but I'm not going to share that, where I stopped, right? I stopped. And there was something in my mind that said, don't do this anymore, like you can't do this. And there's something that's saying, go back, right? Like literally tune back in. So, yeah. So I share that with you all today in a place of vulnerability and honesty to hopefully spark within each of us the willingness to lean into something that either has served our heart in the past or that we want to have it serve our heart. I know for all of us that there is something within us that is yearning to be expressed and acknowledged or tended to, that we think really doesn't hold value for us, but it does. And the key to that, to trusting that journey, is indeed the lyrics to the song. To remember that it's in every one of us, right? By and by, it's the wisdom that's there. If we open our eyes and open our heart, it's there. There's been a theme today in our music with the rose, right? And so it's focused on giving of flowers, but it's really all about tuning in and listening to the messages that are coming into us to give ourselves the gift of letting something new emerge. And just like the flower, I can guarantee you it will be beautiful. So now we have an opportunity to support our community financially in just a moment, while I remind you to check out our website, CSL-LA.org, for what's going on. There will not be a meditation this week, as I'm giving myself a mini vacation. So that will pick up a week from Wednesday, and then we'll be back online next Sunday, as well as we have the New Thought text for the day that goes out each morning at 7:30. And I think that's it. I think that's it for me. I'm feeling really complete in this moment. And so Robert's going to pass if you'd like to support us financially in a way that you would like to put something, check, cash, jewelry, whatever, in the basket, it's going to be right there. If you'd like to support us through online serve, you can go to our website, csl-la.org, or you can go to the app in the App Store, and that will give you accessibility to do so. And as Robert is doing that, can we just have a little music underneath this? And let's stay in the resonance field of trusting that it's in every one of us. My teacher, Dr. David Walker, my primary teacher, keeps showing up this week in my mind. And I hear him saying, as I'm clenching my fist, you can't give with a clenched fist. And so, meaning open up and give freely so that not just the center benefits, but that we, the individual, benefits by giving. So let's let that be. So you have donuts and cupcakes and coffee outside. Please avail yourself of that and share in the love. As Dier just heard cupcakes and donuts, I saw that response. You remind me so much of me at that age, that we're going to choose to let that be a blessing for you. Whether you like it or not. Thank you all for being here today. It warms my heart, and my intention is to have your heart warmed as well. I also want to say thank you to Yaron.
Thank you.
To Travis, our audio guru, to Robert in the back on social media, and to Javier, who works so diligently to set up everything for us, and Scott that's here with us. And Javier is so conscientious. He texted me 3 times since yesterday afternoon just to make sure what he was doing was the right thing, and let's honor him. So as we close, I invite you to close your eyes if that feels good. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Letting go of any angst or any feelings of questioning anything other than hearing this question that we ask ourselves. Am I willing to let Spirit do its thing through me in a new way today? Remembering to breathe. I affirm for each one of us that the answer to that is yes. So the answer we shall hear is, yes, Spirit, I am by God. And it's by God meaning that we open ourselves up to a new awareness to the power and the presence that's within us. In our teaching, we believe that the power that we call God is imbued with these qualities, and as individualizations of the power, so are we. Peace, power, beauty, joy, life, love, wisdom, and light. The light today has been symbolized by the candle here on the table and all of the candles lit in the room. As I extinguish the flame here of the candle on the table, I know for each one of us, we begin to see it emerge in our own being. As we feel the emergence of the flame within, we say yes to that being the power and the presence that we've questioned, will we allow to be present within us, that this is it, and it's there to show us the way. And so when in doubt throughout the week, we hear this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. And so it is. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. That was fun. Thank you. Thank